Back to our special coverage remembering President Jimmy Carter. I'm Aisha Howard.
And I'm Ron Jones, and we're joined by 11 Alive former anchor Jeff Hollinger as well. Services just ended at the Carter Center, but we're told that Kaitlyn Ross, she's standing by live right now, and actually she's out there by the MARTA station where folks are lining up, not too far from the MARTA station, where folks are lining up, hopefully able to go in to see the president's casket.
Ron, it was so important for so many people to come out here and honor President Carter. I'm joined by Kyoka, who's the first person in line. And Kyoka, why was this so important for you to be here today?
It was so important to be here today because President Carter meant a lot to so many and myself, and he was just a wonderful, blessed president. Like, he is going to be greatly missed. Such a sweet humanitarian and just love Americans and wanted the best for everybody throughout history, throughout everything. And it just was very important for to be here today.
You came hours before the first shuttle was supposed to leave. You're the first person in line. Why did you think that show of respect was so important, to be here so early, to be the first in line, to be ready to go?
Like I said before, I just love President Carter, and it was just an honor and a blessing to be here. And it was highly respected and important for me to be here, to be in line, to pay my respects to such a wonderful president.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I want to make sure you don't miss your spot because those buses are going to take off at 6. The memorial, the viewing doesn't start until 7, but the buses start running here at 6. Once they start running, they're going to run for 60 hours continuously. So throughout the overnight, into the morning, overnight again, they're going to make sure these buses keep going because they want to make sure everybody who wants a chance to pay their respects to President Carter gets that chance. And the folks who I've been talking to in line say that's what's so important. I talked to one woman who drove 6 hours to get here, to get on MARTA, to get on a bus, to go to the Carter Center. It's a lot of logistics. It's difficult. But for everybody waiting in line here today, it's worth it. They say they want to be there. They want to show the Carters how much they respect them and how much they appreciate what President Carter did for America.
And Kaitlyn, you said some people even have a little plan here because when we say for the next 60 hours, we really mean the next 60 hours. So some people are saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to beat the crowd and I'm going to slide in around 2 o'clock in the morning. That is an option.
It is, Aisha, and that's exactly what one woman told me she was going to do. She drove here, looked at the line, and said, you know what, I'll be back at 2 a.m. when nobody's going to be here, and that way I don't have to wait. My guess is she's going to be able to get in and out of the Carter Center very quickly, and MARTA has worked really hard to make this a seamless process. So you can't quite tell from where we're standing, but you can see 4 buses from where we are. The buses line the street all the way back down the street. They're going to fill one bus after another bus after another bus, and those buses will run continuously. So through the overnight hours, MARTA has countless employees here. There is so much security. There are so many police officers. They really have game planned this down to the second so people are able to get in, get to the Carter Center, and then get back out.
You know, we talked to you just like 30 minutes ago. It sounds like there's a lot more people, a lot more folks there. Is that true?
Yes, it is, Ron. Since we first spoke, a lot more people have gotten into the line, and they changed the way the line was configured. They just had kind of a small area over there where people could wait, but then once the line started getting deeper and deeper, they actually wrapped it back along here, and now it's going back this way. Tyson, our photojournalist, is going to go ahead and pan through this line because you can see there are a lot of people lined up right now. The good news is that they're going to be able to get on those buses very quickly. The buses are going to be heated and warm, and once they get on those buses, it's going to be a pretty seamless process getting over to the Carter Center and then getting back here to King Memorial Station. So they have thought this through as much as they can. You can see the bus going right now around the other side, and that's how people are going to get on these buses. It's just this continuous loop where they're going to make sure people are able to get on and off those buses very quickly.
Kaitlyn, I think there also is an element at work here above and beyond somebody saying, well, Jimmy Carter was a great guy, I loved his wife, that sort of thing. I think there is a sense of history about all of this as well. When a U.S. president dies, the opportunity to walk by the casket in the Carter Center, which is such a focal point of Atlanta anyway, that you want to be a part of history. You want to say that you were there. And I think that's something that is important to a lot of people, at least some of the older people that I see as well in the line.
Absolutely, Jeff. That is absolutely part of it. One of the first people in line actually is a 7-year-old named Carter after President Jimmy Carter. And his mom said it was so important that they be here today because, in your words exactly, this is history. She wants her son to be able to see that, to be able to memorialize the president that he's named after, to show him that weight, that heaviness of the moment in history, and to make sure people are paying their respects for everything he did for the United States, for the entire world. He had such an incredible impact. And I think what's been so heartening out here talking to people is that everyone has their own Jimmy Carter story. They all have a way that they were touched by him, impacted by him, how he made a difference in their lives. And that's what they're going to honor today. It's that moment that they related to him, that they felt like he cared about them. And that's what's so important to so many of these people who have lined up for hours in the cold to make sure that they get that chance.